Let's take a look at the assistant first. The nice dog here, well dressed, of course. Hey everyone, this is Thecos. Today I will bring you my playthrough of Mayor of Chicago by Xavier Georges. I hope I kind of pronounced the name correctly. I was so lucky to meet Xavier last time at Spiel, and he was actually showing the game to me. And then I was speaking to Shady Toby, who is with inPatience, the publisher of this game and many other great games. I think I've covered almost every game by inPatience Games, and now it's Mayor of Chicago. First of all, a huge thanks to Xavier for showing me the game last year, but also a huge thanks to Shady from inPatience Games for providing me with a review copy. I've been wanting to do that for a few months, but just didn't fit earlier in my schedule. But now I'm bringing you a playthrough of this game, which I like quite a bit. So I'll structure the video today as follows. I will first do the setup, then I will explain like the most important basic ideas to you, and then we'll play through the game, explain the rest as we go, as usual. And then at the end, I will give you like a short review, because I do have a few things to say about this game. All right, before we get started, as usual, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's do this. All right, there we go. You see, I've zoomed out quite a bit, but that's because the game needs quite a bit of table space. So yeah, let me just set up the game. And that concludes the setup of the game. As you can see, it takes up quite a bit of table space. We will like put a tableau of cards right here, building out Chicago, this city. But what is this game about? Well, actually, it's election year in Chicago. And as an aspiring politician, this might be our golden opportunity to rise to the coveted position of mayor. For that, we need to gather enough money, popularity, and power in order to become the new mayor of Chicago. There, he said it. Well, this is a pure solo game. If you have two copies of the game, you can play it at a two-player count, but I will not go into detail for that today. But actually, you will be then building like two cities. Yeah, this is like a very tight management game. You have to do a lot of tough choices, and the game works like this. You always to draw one card from the deck here, and then you either place it in your city here someplace, or you turn it over and place it like when you have actually like started building out your city. You see like that you have like these little areas here where you can place then these guys, but you have to like buy them with the money up here in order to build them here, and then you will like get specific perks for that. And the third thing you can do is discard the cards. You can either discard them city face up, just remove them from the game, or you can discard them with the assistant side up next to your opponent here. You will then receive a little bit of money, which you like definitely need, but at the end you will get penalized. Here we will be building out the city. We will be building a 6x4 grid, or a 7x4 grid, if you also call that column that is already here. Here on the right we track our resources. At the moment we have 25 money, $25, and then here we have like all the other things that we can have. We can have popularity, power, booze, corruption, and then also votes. And these votes are the key to winning this game, because this is our opponent here. Our opponent is called No Room for Doom. And we need to have more than 40 power at the end of the game. Or I think 40 power I think is enough to win the game. But there are also like specific stats we should exceed and should not exceed, but I will get to that during the game. Down here we have the events. These events, like the immediate effect at the top with the lightning bolt, always triggers when we finished that column, and the end of game effect down here with the sand timer is then activated from left to right when we are at the end of the game. The game ends when the entire city is filled, or if we cannot draw any cards anymore. And then we will get like penalties if we haven't like filled the entire grid. We will get penalties for all the assistants we put here face up to get some money, and we get penalties down here. And at the end, we need to have 40 votes or more. All right, that is pretty much like how this game works in a nutshell. And I will now play through the game, explain more into detail what we actually do here. Okay, so we always start by drawing a card. And now I can take a look at this card in one of two ways. Either I can take the city card and put it anywhere here in the grid, I have to always put it in the leftmost spot of that column. If I draw the next card, I still put it in the leftmost spot of the row, not column, of course. I could also put it up here, but this is not the leftmost column I could put the card because there are 3 spots here, which would mean if I placed it here, I would gain 1 corruption. Corruption is not good. We should try not to gain corruption. Is there any way to get rid of corruption? Not now. At the end of the game, we can get rid of some corruption. Okay, but there are also assistants that make us do that. The other thing we can do is take a look at the assistant here, and there are like a few of key information things here on the card. First of all, it costs 12 cash in order to hire the assistant. If we have 15 popularity or more in that example here, we have 0 at the moment, then it only costs 7. But we don't have it at the moment. And then here is like the effect. I will not go over each effect right now, but if there is an interesting one that I like, then I will let you know that works. But there is like if you take the rule book here, at the end, all of the different all the different assistants are all explained, which is like really well done. But we can only like place them on areas that are completed. At the moment, we couldn't put an assistant anyway. But with the money, we don't place it. We don't place the assistants. We just buy them. I can just put them aside then here, someplace, and then I can place them like whenever I want to as another action instead of drawing a card. And then I can also like discard the card if I want to. So let's see what we want to reach. So we essentially want to construct a city in such a way that whenever we place an assistant on top, we can choose one of these symbols and gain like as much as that symbol is there. The flags are always wild. So if I place this, for example, here, and then later on maybe like this, if I place an assistant there at some point later during the game, I could either gain 2 popularity or 3 power. The guns are the power. But also we might want to like have like similar symbols also around, because some assistants also additionally have that effect to give you something for like the same symbol of a specific kind around that area. So at the moment, what we mainly want to do is gain popularity, and later we also need to gain power. But popularity would be the most important thing at the moment. So it might be a good idea to do either something like that or like this. I usually don't want to put flags at the outside because we cannot cover those, of course. Because we cannot place an assistant card later on down there, not completely in the grid. So maybe we'll do something like this here. If I do something like this, that would be kind of cool. Because here I could go for popularity, but also power. And here I could also go for popularity or votes. Votes we don't need at the moment. Not at the beginning. We need to like get votes a little bit later on. For now, it's not as important. All right, let's draw the next card. This assistant here copies the ability of an adjacent assistant. Not very interesting at the moment. Way too much money. So let's see here. We have votes, we have power. I could put it up here and then later on have some power here. Also, we have like, we have votes around here. So we could do that. We do need some power later on. Not now, but maybe later. And here I could go for maybe some popularity, which I could do with this card here. Check this out. This card here, if I put it there, I could gain 3 popularity later on. Would be okay. I could also put it here to get like a lot of money later on. I need money. That's very important. This assistant costs 10 and will give us for each money that is around where we place it, right? So if we place it here, each money symbol, it's only 1 now, would give us 1 boost and 1 power. Just once. It's a one-time ability here. That's not too bad, but I also don't like this ability too much. But I don't want to start discarding cards now. Yeah, I'm not sure. We could also place it like this here. Nah, that doesn't make sense. Let's place it here. And then I can gain some popularity later on. So like the first effect that triggers here is we would like, for each popularity we have less than our opponent, we would lose a vote. But I mean, if we don't have any votes, we can't lose any. So I will not get any votes, and I will not rush the... Like, actually, we should, like, complete this column first, and then this penalty will not even affect us. Next card here. This assistant here is very cool, actually. That one makes us double the resources we get. So check this out. If we put him on here, we could get 6 popularity immediately. That is pretty nice. Because, remember, popularity also like gives us a discount on future cards here. But there's also a cash sign here which we could use here. That's a little bit difficult. I don't quite know what to do? You know what? It might be a waste, but I will use this guy. I will use this guy now. I think this could be quite helpful. So this costs like 11, so I will spend 11 right here. So now we still have 14. I'll just put him on the side. Now we will not place him yet. We don't need him yet. All right, next card here. Of popularity. Here on the left, we have a flag, which is like a wild, and the money symbol. Also, you can't like rotate cards, right? We have to place them always upright. This one gives us for each booze around the area where we place this guy, 2 votes. That's not very interesting. Not now. Not for now. I could go here, but that wouldn't make sense. Here would be kind of cool because this doesn't do a whole lot. But here, there's like loads of hearts around here. And also here, I could like collect a few more hearts for popularity. Would be okay. Or I discard this card. Actually, you know what? I think I would rather discard this one. Would I discard face up for some cash? I think not yet. I still have 14. With 14, I can like buy most guys, I think. So I would just discard him like city face up to the side. Then we take the next card, and this one I will place right here because we can like later on gather some votes. Here I have a wild to combine with the popularity. But because that's not the leftmost column I could place a card in, I have to gain 1 corruption. So we have 1 corruption now. Okay, that is not ideal, but that's the way it is, I guess. Ooh, more votes. More votes. Look at this, something like this. Let me gain another corruption. But I will be able to remove corruption here later on. Like before that negative effect with the corruption triggers with power. So I think I will still put that one here and gain 1 more corruption. But now I need to be careful because she only has 3 corruption, right? And having more corruption than her is pretty bad, actually. But only here. For now, we're fine. This one here. What do we do with this one? Oh, I don't like this one. Oh, I didn't even take a look at the assistants in the back here. Well, that's too late. This one gives 2 money for each booze around the areas, but I have almost no booze here, so it doesn't matter. This one is not interesting at all. I don't even know where to place him. He would be okay, but it's like corruption again, so I want to do that. So let's just discard this card. Here's some booze. I would like to have like some cash here in the top left, to be honest, but I don't know if I will get that soon, right? Could take a while. But this one here is not really interesting. What about the assistant? Every power around this guy would give me 1 vote. Do I have any good spots for that yet? Not really. There are some power cards here, some power symbols here, but they are like in pretty bad positions. So this one doesn't do anything really. I think I will also discard that one, but I can't discard too many anymore, right? I need to be a little bit careful. All right, so we have some power here, some popularity. This one for every booth symbol around, another more votes. We need to like be able to get like more votes later on somehow. But one thing here, you see here, for example, this one gives us like 1 for each booze that we have. We can get votes, but we have to like remove all of the booze. But that isn't too bad. And also here, for each popularity, we have more than our opponent. We get votes. So we're not only looking for votes here, but also for popularity and also maybe for booze later on. So yeah, okay. But this one is not really interesting. Okay, so can we place this guy? Not really, to be honest. So let's also remove this guy. Okay, so, oh, this is nice, actually. There's like loads of stuff we can work with here. I could put it here to get some more power later on maybe, or votes, whatever I decide to do. There are like loads of votes around here. I couldn't work with those. Could also put it here, but that's less interesting. I think I will put him here and just gain 1 more corruption. Yeah, it's not great, but it's fine. Next card, we have an assistant here that, yeah, that one is also quite interesting because that one makes us gain 1 boost whenever we discard an assistant next to the opponent here. We would always get a boost every time. And later on we can, like, this is like 1 vote. Each boost is 1 vote. That's not too bad. This one might actually be worth getting. and placing like very soon, so we can get some boost, but it costs 8 and we have no means of making money at the moment. That is an issue. And also this one would be great to place here to get some money. You know what? I will place him here like this. Okay, so this column is done. So now we need to trigger that effect here. For each popularity we have less than her, we will lose 1 vote, but we don't have any votes, so joke's on you. Okay, so what do we have here? An assistant costs 9. For each money symbol around, we get 2 money. That one is actually not bad, because if we place it here, we could go for the money here. That means you would get money, as many symbols as there are here. So we count these symbols here that we cover. You know what, let me actually do that, because I think that's a good idea. I will buy this guy. Costs 9, so we will go down to 5 money, which is not a lot, but we will get a lot back. And then I will place him right here. So now when I place him here in this area, what we do is we count up all of these symbols here, and we get like a specific number of that resource. If we cover 1 symbol of one kind, we get 1 of that resource. If we cover 2, we would get 3. For 3, we get 5, and for all 4, if all 4 are the same, we get 8. We cover 3, so we get 5. That means we almost get the money back. So we're up to 10 now. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2, that's 10, right? So we're up to 20. That means with just that one guy, we just made 6 more bucks. That's not too bad. I think that's pretty good. All right, so here for each power we have less, we need to either gain corruption or lose votes. We cannot lose votes, but we can gain corruption. So we should get some power soon. We can get quite a bit of power here. So we still have that guy, remember, right? Actually, it might be a good idea to use him now for that power here. Let me draw another card for now. This one I cannot place anywhere, but let me see if we can find a good assistant here. Whenever we discard, that's a good one. That's a nice one. Whenever we discard an assistant next to her, we also can get rid of 1 corruption. And that makes us much more flexible here with building out the city, you know? So that might be an idea to get this guy. 7, we have 20. We have quite a bit. That's fine. And then we can just place him on like some money again, right, later on. You know what? I think I will buy this guy. That's 7, so we're down to 13. Let me just do that. Like this. All right, so we have these 2 now. And now I will use my turn not to draw another card, but to actually take this guy and place him. Here are like loads of votes around. These might be helpful later. So I will place him here. I will place him right here. So now we would get, of course, we now choose one of these 2 symbols, but instead of the popularity, I will choose the power. We have 3 symbols, using that as a wild here, and 3 symbols is 5. But since we place him on here, we get twice as much. So we get 10 power. So with just 1 card, I was able to get 10 power. That now enables us to get some cards a little bit cheaper, some assistants, if they have like power up to 10 there. And also, now I have more power than her. She has only 6, so I don't have that negative effect here anymore. And here I can gain money later on. If I have more power, for each power I have more, I either spend 1 money and get a vote, or I get money. That is really, really good. So we're getting places. We still have that assistant. Do I place that now? We need money at some point, but not yet. We have 13. I think we are good. So, and now I see that I don't really like what's on the city card here, right? Because you always see the next city card. So you always have like a hand of 3, so to speak. The card you have in your hand, you can check both sides. That's like 2 cards, so to speak. So 2 sides to work with, plus the next city card. And I don't really like what's here because the power on the left doesn't really help me. So I will probably discard the card or discard the assistant or whatever. But since I might discard an assistant, I need to play this guy first. So I will play him right here and choose popularity. There are 3 popularity symbols, so I get 5 popularity. Because I want to have more than 6 later on. In the last column at the latest, I want to have more, as much as I can. Like when I end the game, of course. I mean, that's the end of the game then. Okay, and now I will draw this card. So as I said, the city card isn't really interesting here. I don't know where I would put it. Doesn't really help me. So let's look at the assistant. The assistant costs 13. If I have 12 popularity, which I don't have. I have only 5. It would cost only 9. For each assistant around, like adjacent one, I would gain 2 votes. Could be interesting, but not really for me at the moment. So I think I will discard it, but now I will discard it as an assistant. That means I gain 2 money. So I have 15 money now. And also, because of that power here, I can now lose 1 corruption. Because at the very end, I need to get rid of all my corruption, and I do that by either paying 2 money or by losing 1 vote. And I don't really want that. So with that, I can kind of circumvent that. But at the end of the game, I will lose 1 vote for each assistant I've discarded face up here. So that's also one thing to consider. Well, actually, I can also put him there. Okay, so the next card here. Ooh, yeah, that is nice. Place him here for more popularity. I also need some money later, but I'm fine with money at the moment. Alternatively, I could also put it like here, right? To have like all of these votes here, because we do need votes at some point. Let's take a look at the assistant. We have the owl here. For each wild around, we can remove 2 corruption. I don't need that. It's not an expensive one. I would only pay 4 for this because I have at least 3 popularity. I have 5, but this one doesn't really do anything. I could place him here for 3 votes, and then I could remove 4 corruption. I only have 2, so that doesn't do anything. I mean, of course, I could like hire him and then use him later, but still. I think I would actually place this here, like this. So I could now either get a little bit of money or more popularity. And remember, we will get popularity and booze, and of course votes themselves help us get votes. So we don't have 1 vote yet, but we are getting there. We are like spreading our influence at the moment. We are hiring the assistants that help us, things like that, right? We're becoming more popular. We are definitely powerful now, so we will be able to get some votes soon, I hope. So this column is done. So now the immediate effect means for each power that we have less than our opponent, we will gain 1 corruption or lose a vote. Power 6, I have power 10, no problem. So all right, the next card. Oh, that's a nice one actually, because I could put it here for some votes later on, but also for money. But let's see what the assistant says. Ooh, oh, I might want that, because that one gives us for each vote symbol around this guy. Look at this, how much there would be, right? So much. We would get 1 money and 1 vote, and it only costs us 7 because we have at least 6 power. We have 10. I need to buy this guy. Cost me 7. Oh, then I have only 8 money left. That is not a whole lot, so I will definitely need some money later on. But this guy is amazing. I will place him very soon. Will I place him now? Immediately? Yeah, I could place him immediately and get all that money. I will get like all the money back. I paid 7, 2, 4, 6. I get 7 back, but I can like get that power here and also get like all these votes. That's pretty good actually. You know what? Let me place you here immediately. Place him on here. So now I could either choose 3 votes or 3 power. Power doesn't give us votes later on, right? With power, I can remove corruption. That doesn't really help us too much, so I might not want too much power anymore. So you know what? I think I will go for votes now, because I have 10 power. With 10 power, I can do a lot. So yeah, you know what? Let me place them on here and go for the votes. That's like 3 symbols, so that's 5 votes. Let me get those 5 votes in right now. Remember, we need 40 to win the game at the end. And then for each of these vote symbols around, we get 1 cash and 1 vote each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means we get 7 money. So we're back to 15, which is really good. So let me just mark that here. And then also we get 7 more votes. So we're now at 12 votes. That was really good. Oh man. It's always great in this. I would say more things about this game later on, but this game is like really hard, in my opinion. It's like it's very, very thinky and very hard, but in a good way, in a really good way. It does something very, very with my brain that I really like. But it's also like really hard, and like when a plan actually works, it's such a good feeling. Seriously. Okay, so the next one here. Okay, popularity. We need popularity. Remember. Booze would also be okay. But actually, you know what? Something like this We have 2 popularity here. This one is also popularity in the top left. That would be similar, right? So we could place this one next to it maybe or something. That might be, or it might be an option because we need like loads of popularity. We also get some here. Let's take a look at the assistant first. The nice dog here. Well dressed, of course. Only costs 7 because we have at least 5 popularity. We have exactly 5 popularity. And for each, oh, that would have been almost pretty much the same. But for each vote symbol around this guy, we get 1 popularity, which we don't really have at the moment. So if I place him here, for example, oh well, actually, if I place him here, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 popularity. Well, that's really good. Plus the 5 that I get here. Well, that's actually really good. You know what? Let's buy this guy. He costs 7 for us. So 15, I will go down to 8. We need more money soon. And then I will place him. I will immediately place him right here. And then we get 5 popularity here. Plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We get 11 popularity. So we're down. We're up to 16. Remember, 16 popularity at the end. Minus the 6 that she has is like 10 votes. That is really, really good. Because keep in mind, you probably picked up on that right now. I forgot to mention that. Like adjacent also means diagonal in this game. So I don't only get like the benefits of these 5 symbols, but also this one and that one. Because they're all adjacent here. Look at this. We only have 8 money. Okay, sure. We need to like kind of be careful here. But votes, we already have 12 plus the potential 10 we get later on. That's not too bad. So here we could like work on some more popularity like this. We could also do something like this for more votes, but actually popularity is like more important because with 16 I think we can like get every guy for a discount now that has popularity here. So we have this raccoon. For each assistant around we get 2 money. That's actually quite good. That would be if you place him here, we would get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 money, but he only costs 8 for us. So we would get like we could get all our money back and place him pretty much like for free. Place him right here, get 5 votes. Why not? I mean, we can't lose anything. And we have only 8 money. That's exactly what we need here. So you know what? I think I will actually get him. Because this here is good. But is it great? But actually, like with the wild here, that's also really good. So is it worth getting him? For 2 money more? Actually, I don't think so. You know what? I will place it here instead, I think. Yeah, I think so. I think that's good. Alright, so we really need to get some money soon. I'm not working on money at all, right? I'm just working on votes, but actually I'm doing okay with that. I have quite a lot of power and a lot of popularity, so yeah. So here, we could like work with a lot of votes, put it like right here, for example. The boar here on the other side would cost us only 6. For each money symbol around, you would get 1 money and 1 vote. That's a good one to have. At the moment, it doesn't help us. But what we could do is we could like work with money around here, you know? Place some more money. Here's some, for example. We could work with that. You know what? I might buy him for 6. Yeah, we're really having money problems now. But this one could help us in the future. This one is a nice card to have. I would like to place this maybe here with all the money around. That's good. That's what we are looking for this guy. So on the other side, for like we can like pay money to get booze. Not really interesting for us at the moment. So, and we couldn't afford him anyway. So I also not discard him because I think this card is actually quite strong. We could go for money here because look at the next card. Get some money here. And then work on votes up there. Yeah, I think I will place him right here. And this card, well, let's take a look at the assistant. But I think I would rather get the money here. So the tiger costs us 7, which we don't have. For each popularity symbol around that character, 1 money and 1 power. That's not very interesting. We're not going for power, we're going for popularity this run. I'm quite lucky that I drew this card with the popularity because these are like double-sided. And it's also possible that you like have a setup that doesn't really give you a lot of votes at the end anymore. That means you need to like get the vote during the game. So yeah, I do have it a little bit easier at the moment. But definitely place you here. I need to place a card here now. Definitely, yeah. Okay, so and then we have this card here, which I would love to place up here. But let's first look at what we have here. That gorilla would cost us 3, which we don't have. Whenever we discard an assistant, we gain 1 power. Yeah, this was interesting in another run I did a few days ago, but it's not interesting today. So I will place you right here. So the column is done. The immediate effect here means for each power we have more than her, we have 4 power more, we can gain 1 money, or we can spend the money to get a vote. But I will actually take the 4 money, go up to 6, because we are like quite short on money. Okay, so let me see. This guy here, we could take the votes, 8 votes, that's a lot. And also for the 3 symbols around, you would get a bit of money and a few votes. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. Will we do that now? We would like get 3 money immediately, which is not a lot, but it would be 9. We would have enough money again, like to buy at least something without having to discard assistants. You know what? I will place him immediately right here. 4 of the same symbol, that's 8. That means we get 8 votes, so we're up to 20 votes. And then for each money symbol around, which we have 3, we gain 1 cash, so we have 9 cash and a vote. So we are now at 23 votes, or 40. We will get at least like 10 at the end of the game for like our popularity. So I think we almost already made it. All right, so this one here, is that interesting? Yeah, popularity is always good. Also, we could go for a little bit of booze now, right? So maybe if I place it here, I could go for popularity here and for booze down here, because at the end I can spend booze in order like for votes. Another thing you can use booze for, by the way, I just hardly ever use it because I think it's like quite a penalty, but it can help you in specific situation. You can also reduce the cost of assistance by spending booze. So if I had like 5 booze, I could spend like 2 booze to reduce the cost of an assistant by 2. But I would also gain corruption in the process. And remember, corruption is not good. You definitely don't want to have corruption because you need to like pay for that corruption at the end of the game, either with 2 money or 1 vote each. So not that great actually. Okay. By the way, I don't want to have booze before I complete this column here, because for each boost that I have, I will lose 1 vote. But I have 0 boost at the moment, that's fine. But later on, I want to have more boost. So, empty promises. Like, it's really cool because these are like actually like newspaper articles. These gold cards here, I like that. Okay, here I want to go for popularity. I don't need power anymore, so this is not interesting, that card. The assistant, a beaver. For each, whenever I discard an assistant, I also get a vote. Ooh, because that just pays for itself. So I can just discard assistants for free, pretty much. That is really good. And because for each assistant I discard, I also can remove 1 corruption. That is really good. That makes discarding assistants free. This is good. I will have to take you. I have at least 9, so I just pay 5, so I'm down to 4. I almost have no money, but I will get that money back because I will place you right here. Yeah. 3 money symbols. That is 5 money. So actually, he was just free. This is great. Now I can just discard assistants whatever I want, however I want to. Okay, this is nice. We have like 2 wilds here. I think I will just put them right there. But let's look at the assistant first. This, I have no idea what kind of animal that is. Looks like kind of a monkey. For each money symbol around the card, we get 2 votes each. Not too bad, but not interesting at the moment. So, you know what? I will just place you right here. Okay. How about you? Not really interesting either, to be honest. What do we have here? This is an interesting one as well, because this is like I think this card only exists once. And this card, like when we place an assistant, we can like take one event card and place it face down, and that will be just ignored for the rest of the game. But there is no card that is actually bad for us here. On the contrary, most of them are good. We don't need her at all. And this card isn't interesting either. So you know what? I will discard it as an assistant. That will gain me 1 vote and reduce 1 corruption and gain me 2 money. So I'm up to 11 now. Okay, nice. Oh yeah, the booze here, up here. That would be great. But let's look at the assistant first. Costs us 8 for each money symbol around, which you don't have too many anymore. 1 booze and 1 vote. Actually, really good card. Ooh, can we work with that? So let's say I would place you right here. There's one money symbol only. If I placed you here... yeah, that's kind of... I can hardly place you, that's the issue. So I don't think he's really worth it. I think the booze is more worth it for me. So I will place it right here. Okay, this one here, I could place it here for power, but that's not interesting. This is not an interesting card. So, oh, this one. I worked with this one last time as well. Whenever I discard an assistant, I get 1 money and 1 popularity, which is like really good for me actually, you know, because I need popularity. Oh man, I'm actually have a little engine here for discarding assistants. So I think I will buy you. I only have 4 left then, but that's the way it is. All right. Do I use you immediately? I think so. I think so, actually. Actually, you know, this card I could place up here. That would be fine. Where would I place you? Here, for more popularity, maybe? You know what? Let me place you immediately. Let me place you right here. I will choose the hearts, the popularity, which gives me 5. So I'm up to 21. This is actually the best game I've played so far. But I'm also playing against one of the easy opponents, right? I will get to that later. So let's take a look at the assistant here. The swan. For each polarity symbol around, that's 2 votes each. Oh, I could have placed him here. Oh, I could also place him here later on. That would be kind of nice. But I don't have 6 money. Well, then I guess not. This one, yeah, I will just place you right here. Okay, so this column is done. So now for each booze that we have, we lose 1 vote. We don't have any booze yet, but we will get some now. Soon. Oh, we could work with more booze here. Look at this. That actually wouldn't be too bad. Up here, it wouldn't do too much, but here maybe. The assistant costs us 10. We don't have any money. But for each assistant around, that would be 2 booze. Oh, I imagine we would put him on here. All right, that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 booze. Wow. But yeah, sorry, we cannot work with you. We don't have the money. But I will maybe do something like this here to get some more booze in general. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And put some booze here in a moment. So whenever we discard an assistant, we get popularity. That one would also be really good. I mean, we already have something like that, right? But still, but we can't afford it. So I will place it right here. Okay. So we're almost done. We just placed 6 more cards and we're done. Let me just see how many cards we still have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can discard 3 more cards without having any penalties. By the way, I don't know if that's allowed to count the cards here, but I usually do that because why not? This one here doesn't really make any sense to place it anywhere. The assistant costs us 4, which we exactly have. For each heart symbol around, we get 1 popularity. So if I place you here, we get 1. If I place you here, we would get 2 popularity. I mean, that's better than nothing, right? I could do that. But I'm like totally poor. I have no money at all. So I could also discard you for some money. I mean, getting all that booze and stuff would be kind of good. You know what? Let me spend the 4 money. Now I don't have anything left. And I will play, and then I will place you immediately right here. That means we get 3, we get 5 booze. So let me just get that, the first booze I got. And we will get 2 popularity. So we're up to 23. Wow, I'm so popular. That's amazing. Okay, this card here is not amazing. I could put it here for the popularity. Let's take a look at the assistant that we cannot. Ooh, this would be great. This would give us like a popularity for like booze around this card. I could just place you here. Get some more popularity maybe later on. But I don't think I will like place many more assistants because I don't have any money. But I will place you right here. So this card is not really interesting. Let's take a look at the assistant, which we cannot afford anyway. So I will just discard you. That means we get 2 money. And also we remove 1 corruption. So we are not corrupt anymore at all. And also we get 1 more vote. And we get another money and another popularity. Okay. So this one here is not really interesting either. But if we ever get an assistant in at some point, we could put it here to get some more votes or something. Let's see. Now, whenever we discard a card, we get 3 money. Here, actually, we could also discard you and get some money. I think I will do that. I will show you in a minute why. So I will discard you. So we gain 2 money plus another money plus popularity plus a vote. And also we get rid of some corruption. Yeah, I think that's good because now the next card I will place here. And now the column is complete. And now for each corruption that we have less than our opponent, we have 0, they have 3, so that's 3 corruption less. We can spend 2 money to get the popularity. That's actually like votes for me. So I will spend, like I can spend up to 6 money, which I will do, to gain 3 more votes. So up to 29 votes. Okay. Now we are broke. But I think that's fine. So here, oh, that's not an interesting card. But we need to place all the cards now. Yeah, we only have 4 cards left. So I will place all the cards now. I think I will not even take a look at the assistants anymore because we don't have any money. So let's just end this. Let me place you here. Let me place you here. I will just show the images here. Oh, that's a nice one as well. Oh, that would have been pretty good for us as well, actually. Yeah, would have been pretty good for us as well. But I will just place all of them here so I don't have any penalties anymore like this. Okay. And now the game is over. The game is either over when I fill the grid or when the cards run out. Well, both just happened at the same time. So, and now for the end of the game. If our city grid was less than 4 by 7 cards, then we would gain 1 corruption for each missing card, which would be kind of bad because we have to pay for that. But that's not the case. We finished the entire grid. And now we go through all the events from left to right and do the end game abilities here. So this one says for each popularity we have more than our opponent, we gain 1 vote. So we have 25 popularity. That is 19 more than she has. So we get 19 votes. So I'm 29. That's 30, 48, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. So we already won. But let's still continue. For each power that I have, I can remove a power and remove corruption. We don't have any. That's fine. For each power that we have less than our opponent, we would either lose a popularity or lose a vote, which we don't have. That's fine. We have more. For each boost that we have, we can spend all of the boosts to get as many votes, which I will do. I have 5 boosts. I will get rid of those 5 boosts to get 5 more votes. So 43, we're at 53, 48, we're at 53, I think. And then here, for each corruption we have more than the opponent, we would now lose 2 money or a vote, which we don't have. That's fine. And for each popularity we have less than her, we would either lose 1 money or 1 popularity, which also doesn't happen. Now we would have to pay like $2 or lose 1 vote for each corruption that we have, which we don't have, so that's fine. And also now we apply the penalty for these cards here. For each card that we placed here, we lose, as you can see here, 1 vote. That means 4 cards are here. We lose 4 votes, so we're down to 49. And now we need to have more votes than the opponent. What I said at the beginning, we need to have at least 40. That's not true. We need to have 1 more votes, of course. So, because if it's a draw, I don't have the majority. We need 41 votes at least, and we have 49. So we won the game. But I think I played really well, and still I have only 49 votes. Because, one thing, if you take a look at the box here, you see we have loads more opponents here. So this one is also a 1-star opponent. It's like very small in the bottom right here. And it needs 45 votes. And you see like as you go up in stars, this one here for you needs 55 or 60. So we would have only beaten these 3 guys, I think. Yeah, everybody else we wouldn't have beaten. Even though we played quite well. But then again, you see like they have like also more corruption here, some of them. So this one is like, here you need to like work with your corruption a little bit. Here, or like a lot more. Here you have more wiggle room with corruption. So you can place cards a little bit more strategically, things like that. 0 corruption, that one is really rough. But it's also 3-star card. They go up to 4 stars here. And all of them have like these cool names here at the back. Right? The future, follow me to freedom, time to wake up. Like all of these slogans. Like really, really cool. All right, and that pretty much concludes my playthrough of Mayor of Chicago, a game I really, really like. This is a really, really good game. like at the beginning, you need a little bit to like get into the rules, because the rules are very simple. But like there are a lot of symbols here that you first need to understand. Once you understand them, it's very, very simple, really. It's like very easy to remember what these cards do once you understand them. At the beginning, it's like loads of symbols, but actually this is like done really, really well. These are very clear, the icons, so that is great. Also, in the rule book, I have no idea where I have it here. In the rule book at the back, you have like a glossary of everything you need. Here are all the abilities of the assistants explained. Here are all the events explained. You see, like there are like 12 of them, because these are all double-sided and very different. So this is like all explained really, really well. So this is like very, very easy to learn. Very elegant game. This is a lot of game in a very small box. This is a tiny box, and the box is just large enough to house everything, so it couldn't even be much smaller, maybe minimally. And there's loads of game in here. That is pretty crazy. This is very, very thinky, and each game is different. I've never had a game, for example, with that much popularity. I also never had a game where I like knew at the half of the game, okay, I'm most likely gonna win the game. I never had that before either, right? I was a little bit lucky with like how everything came out, but I also like played quite well, I think. This is also a game with quite a steep learning curve, because at the beginning I lost every game. I thought like, oh, I don't know if I will like the game in the long run, because it's like really hard to actually win this game. I don't know if you can plan, but yes, you can. You can actually like puzzle that together and plan. You get better at the game the more you play, and this is great. I love this. So to be honest, I've played the game quite a few times, but only with the one-star opponents so far. So I'm really looking forward to like playing the 2, 3, and later on at some point the 4-star opponents, but it will be a long time until then. I find the game highly replayable. Yes, it's always the same. You always draw the cards, you always build your grid, you always put assistants down. Oops. So it's always the same. But like the way the cards come out, the way the events, like which events you have, and in which order, which side, which opponent you play against, like how your early game works, how your late game strategy is, how you are able to like stack up your power and popularity in order to gain like cheaper cards, how you arrange everything here, that all changes massively from game to game. And I think that is really great. I really, really enjoy that. I think this is an incredibly elegant game. And because I like the game so much, it receives the golden Sir Thecos Ace of Games award from me. It took me a few plays to fully appreciate it, but once it clicked, I was really impressed by how much this game does with so few cards and relatively simple rules. The city building, the symbol placement, the entire puzzle, the character cards, and the race for the votes all come together in a really clever and surprisingly thinky solo puzzle. For me, this is a small but really excellent solo design. I already know and really enjoy some of Xavier Georges' other games, such as Ginkopolis and Black Angel, like really like large games, but with like one of the designers. He also designed Carnegie, which is a very well designed game as well. So I'm not surprised the Mayor of Chicago is such a strong design. And honestly, this may be one of inPatience's best games. And also one of the cleanest designs of Xavier Georges himself. Like all in all, Mayor of Chicago is a really clever, tight, and very thoughtful solo game with a unique theme and a surprisingly deep puzzle. It has a lot with very few cards, building the city step by step, grouping and spreading symbols, deciding when to use characters, and trying to create just enough support to win this election. Keep in mind, it may take a play or two to fully click, and it's definitely challenging, and it's definitely quite a steep learning curve. But once it does click, there's a lot to appreciate here. Well, and that concludes my playthrough and review of Mayor of Chicago. Thank you so much for watching and for staying to the very end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, my thanks goes out to all of you. A special shout out to my generous patrons. And the biggest thanks go to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. I truly appreciate that. You can also support me by watching, liking, and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, support me on Patreon, and join my Discord server to hang out with me in my really cool community. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video on my Discord server. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.